Happy Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday, which means another recap video. We just wrapped up with week 11. And what can I say? I finished out on another heater, another hot streak. I told y'all I was heating up. And right now I'm burning hot. It's hot in her. Shout out to my boy Nelly. But yes. Hope you was watching my week 11 preview show, because if you did, you know I went 12-3. Yes, sir, 12-3. I told y'all I was heating up. I told y'all. So, in this video, I'm going to recap of my nearly perfect week. But like I said, I got some improvements to make. One to get in the teams. Well, I was one away from the teams, so I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to go through every game on the Week 11 card. And, yeah, we're going to go from there. So, starting out with Thursday night football was the Jets and the Patriots. No surprises here. The Jets are the worst team in the league. Like I said, the Pats are just the most complete team. You know, and they got that win. Trey went for Trey for Trey. R.I.P. to my boy Trey. But yes, Trey Henderson, another a hat trick for my boy Hendy. He had 2 on the ground, another 1 in the air. So looks like they finally started using him. He is a breakout player that I would like the Patriots to see use a lot more. I know he's benefited from some injuries. Ramondre Stevenson is out, but he had fumbling issues anyway. We thought it was going to be his backfield when he got drafted. It took him a little while, but he's a rookie, so rookies kind of get a slow start. Coach is kind of warming up to him, but yeah, it's time for Ramondre Stevenson to pack it up. Even though he didn't have that many yards on the ground, it's just the fact that he got 3 touchdowns, which is the most important. Don't matter how you get there, as long as you get there. In terms of the Jets, man, they could have showed a lot more. Justin Fields was looking to go to A.D. Mitchell, but that dude was just dropping balls, looking terrible. It's time for him to stop being a receiver. Maybe he can just work something out on the special teams, but this team will be better if they just did not trade for him. It's a shame they traded one of their best players. I mean, I know they got a couple first round picks back, but A.D. Mitchell looks like just a special team player. Next game was international. Commanders versus the Dolphins. Now this game was a little bit closer than I expected. This was like the battle of the Hawaiians. We had Marcus Mariota and Tua Tagovailoa. Both from Hawaii, and they both not both, but Marcus Mariota kind of looked out for Tua coming up. So they showed that throughout the game. Showed love throughout the game. But yeah, Tua still looks pretty bad, but HN definitely deserves a lot better, man. This guy is cooking. 165 yards of all-purpose yards. Didn't get in the end zone. That went to Ollie Gordon. They was definitely trying to get him opportunities, but he just couldn't punch it in. But like I said, shout out to Commanders. They just need some more bodies, both on the defensive end and on the offensive side. But yeah, they just missing too many key players. But yeah, the Commanders definitely did show something in this game. They're gonna lose some more games going forward, but that's what happens when you don't got key players like Jaden McDaniels and Terry McLaurin. The next game was the Packers versus the Giants. Man, the Packers almost got exposed, and they probably did get exposed this game. So they might be in trouble because Jacobs might be out for a while. Don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to lean more to Jordan Love. I know that's not what they want, and that's definitely not what they need. So it might be a tough go for the Packers if Jacobs can't suit up, and even if he's not at least 80%, because the more you got to lean on to Jordan Love, the worse this team is going to be. In terms of the Giants, So, man, I wanted Jameis to get this win. Didn't end up getting the win, but Jameis, he could have had that scoring drive if Jalen Hyatt can be a competent receiver. So Jalen Hyatt, man, this loss is on you. But Packers end up pulling this one out. So shout out to the Packers for that one. So keeping it rolling to the next game, Texans versus the Titans. This game was closer than expected. I still figured the Texans was going to win because, like I said, they had the better defense and they were playing a rookie quarterback. But the Titans defense is no scrubs either. Even though the Texans been having offensive problems all season long. Davis Mills was in the game, but he manufactured another game-winning drive. So to say what you want, Davis Mills is a pretty solid backup. Back-to-back weeks with game-winning drives, and he's showing a lot of heart on that field. In terms of the Titans, man, this offense is just terrible. Like, believe it or not, like, Cam Ward was the leading rusher for the Titans. He had 33 yards. Tony Pollard just not doing nothing. Ty Spears he's always been like a threat out the backfield catching the ball. He had a lot of catches this past game, but 33 yards for a non-scrabbling quarterback and him being the leading rusher is definitely a problem. This Titans team is definitely going to have to need some more weapons for Cam Ward for this offense to go. Next game, this was a shocker. Like I took the Falcons to win this game. Didn't end up pulling this one out. But the Panthers really rallied and fought on. Like Bryce Young was looking like Bama Bryce, like he was back in Alabama. Man, he had 448 passing yards this game, and he looked very, very solid. Hitting deep balls, getting T-Mac involved, and he had a huge breakout game. 8 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. But yeah, the Falcons just disappeared in that second half. That whole second half, and the game went into overtime. And that whole second half, including the overtime, they only had 6 points. So, and it's going to be a lot difficult for the Falcons going forth. They lost Penix, looks to a season-ending injury. And looks like it's those knees. And coming into the league, he already had both of his ACLs. They already had some damage. So, this Falcons team is going to be in a little bit more trouble going forward as they rolling with Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins just makes everybody look bad. Can't really push the ball to downfield, and keep teams really eyeing on Bijan Robinson. And they're going to especially eye on Bijan Robinson on his next coming game because Drake London got banged up as well. So this Falcon team is going to be dropping some more games going forward. Bears and the Vikings, my Bears, bear down. Hey, we got that win. Caleb and those Bears team and that Bears team showed a little bit of magic. That kick return was huge at the end of the game. Ended up getting that field goal, but yeah, just another ugly win for the Bears. Offense only had 1 touchdown. That was on the ground to Cal Monangai. But hey, you can get away with that when you're playing a trash quarterback like J.J. McCarthy. J-Mac had 150 yards with 2 interceptions. So this J-Mac is not good. He's not good. You know what I mean? He got Justin Jefferson the ball a little bit more this game, but another 2 interceptions, and he looks like he can't get it done. I know they've been saying that the head coach is a quarterback whisperer, but I don't know if JJ's hearing it. Like I said, wasn't a fan of him in college. Now that he's in the NFL, he looks very, very limited. And I know Justin, he's probably kicking and punching the air, wishing he still had Darnold at the quarterback, because he's gonna get him that ball. He's gonna throw the ball down the field accurately, and give him some of those 50-50 balls. But yeah, this is a very down season for Justin Jefferson, and I know he's just going crazy right now. Next game was the Jaguars and the Chargers. Hey, I told y'all these Chargers was not gonna get it done. Like this Joe Alt injury is a major loss. Um, yeah, I don't see this team doing really much going forth. The rushing attack is non-existent. I told you, Kamani Vidal has returned back to his normal self. Even though the Jaguars' defense is pretty tough, they definitely could have had better opportunities. Justin Herbert only had 81 passing yards, so this whole offense was trash. Didn't do nothing. Didn't really move the ball. Um, yeah, but this Chargers team is just is an average team. And I expect them to keep losing some games. In terms of the Jaguars, man, this rushing attack looks pretty solid. They had 192 rushing yards with 4 touchdowns. So, this rushing attack for the Jaguars looks for real. And we know when Liam Cohen was at Tampa Bay, he had that double-headed monster with Bucky Irvin and Rashad White. So it looks like he's trying to get that going with ETN and not Bay Tuden. Well, I don't know how to say his first name, but Tuden, yeah, ETN Tuden. So, Trevor Lawrence is an average quarterback, but when you got a strong rushing attack, a solid defense, that's all you really need to get a few wins here and there. And it's not like their division is that scary for them. So Jaguars is making a solid push for the playoffs. They might surprise a team here and there and get a 1 or 2 wins. Next game, Buccaneers and the Bills. This game was completely fireworks. Man, it was popping. Historic game for Josh Allen. 6 touchdowns is insane. But how really sustainable that is that? Like, you're not gonna get 6 touchdowns from all the time. He had another 2 interceptions, so he's back to turning over the ball. But yeah, this Bills team it's always gonna be a tough team to beat because it's a well coached team, and they got great players at key positions. But this wide receiver issue is very glaring. They benched a healthy Keon Coleman, who was a first round pick for them. So I don't see this team really doing too well. If they're really keying in and Josh Allen is making turnovers, they just need some receivers. It looks like some no name receivers kind of stepped up this game, and Josh Allen was bombing it. But yeah, they was playing the Buccaneers, so Buccaneers really didn't put that much pressure on them. But yeah, 32 points for the Buccaneers, and Baker only had 173 passing yards is kind of concerning. Like, Sean Tucker had a huge game. But yeah, like you can't count on that going forward. So I'm actually kind of concerned for this Buccaneers team going forward. Know they got a lot of injuries. Don't know when Mike is coming back. Don't know when Godwin's coming back. So they're leaning on their 2 rookie receivers and Tez Johnson and Abuka. So this Buccaneers team might be a little fool's gold. They probably sneak into the playoffs, but they got too many injuries in key positions, and they only got rookies behind them. So don't really see the Buccaneers doing too much more going forward. All right. Next game was the Bengals and the Steelers. Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more fireworks in the game. Kind of just figured the Steelers was going to win because Steelers is a better home team, and the Bengals just has a trash defense. But in this game, I call the Steelers Unk Nation, and they came up big. They had 2 defensive touchdowns in this game. One was a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and another one was an interception return for a touchdown. But like I said, you take away those 14 points, You definitely got a close game. This offense is really not popping like that. And Aaron Rodgers got hurt, so we'll see what Mason Rudolph does in the next game, because I doubt Rodgers will probably be back. But yeah, in terms of the Bengals, yeah, this it's just the offense is terrible, and the offense needs to be too good to elite, because on the other side of the football, their defense is historically trash. So, you can't have two trash, battling out and trying to get out with a win. So the offense didn't do anything. Jamar Chase, man, that was a soft move, man. Definitely lost a lot of respect for you, man. Like, I used to ride with you, man. After seeing you spit on Ramsey, man, that's just low as low. So, I ain't got really no respect for Chase going forward. Anytime a star player like that, just spit on somebody, like, I don't even want to speak on it too much, because, yeah, man, that's got some choice words for you, Chase. That's not cool. Not cool. But yeah, the offense looked terrible, and that's why they lost. Their offense need to play good to great in order to beat anybody, because they got to come back how many points they was going to give off on defense. Next game, 49ers and the Cardinals. Now, the 49ers just took advantage of a below-average team. During my preview show last week, I was saying that the 49ers, they're probably going to win against average to below average teams. But they look like they're getting healthier. Pearsall came back. He didn't really show nothing. It was his first game back off that knee injury. And then Brock came back. Brock had 3 touchdowns, looked pretty solid. But with this game was really about C-Mac doing C-Mac things. 3 touchdown games, hat trick. What can I say? C-Mac, this team runs through C-Mac. Kittle got involved, but that speaks to the Brock being back. So, this 49ers, you got to stay competitive in a very competitive division. So, I expect them to, keep getting some wins, but against some tougher competition, they're definitely going to struggle, because their defense is missing their leader in Fred Warner. Next game, Seattle versus the Rams. I was expecting the Seahawks to win this one, not gonna lie. As you see, this was a very close game, 19-21. But yeah, I was expecting them to win just because of their defense is pretty strong, and that really shows that too. Like, Stanford didn't really have a too great of a game. I mean, he got a job done, but he simmered down 130 yards, I believe 2 touchdowns. But Darnold ended up giving 4 picks, so he was definitely seeing them ghosts again. So you can't really trust Darnold too much. We know he'll show you these performances, and he had one of them. But this speaks more values to the Seahawks defense. For their quarterback to commit 4 turnovers and still be in the game, and just kind of just only lost because there was a long field goal and a 61-yarder that Jason Myers missed, really speaks volumes to how strong this Seattle defense is. So, wouldn't be too concerned too much. Just be concerned more about Darnold. But yeah, these are both 2 solid teams, and this was a great game. Next game, the Chiefs versus the Broncos. Man, Broncos keep proving me wrong. I keep saying I gotta put respect on their name, but when they lost J.K. Dobbins, I thought they was gonna struggle a little bit more. Chiefs still didn't have Pacheco. I thought the Chiefs might have had Pacheco in his game, so that's why I picked the Chiefs. But yeah, the Chiefs is like they just they're missing something once again. But this was a vintage performance from Kelsey. 9 catches for 91 yards, 1 touchdown. But Nick keeps showing up in the clutch. So shout out to Nick, shout out to the Broncos. That defense is strong. So, and they was playing in Broncos County. So there's always going to be a tough time for any team that visits there. Next game was the Ravens and the Browns. Wow, the Ravens sneaked one out. Browns tough. The Browns defense is very, very tough. We seen that Myles Garrett had another 4 sacks. But Lamar Jackson is still looking rusty a little bit. But hey, they got away with the win. You need to keep winning games. But like I said before, the Ravens is gonna run the table, gonna win the division. I'm not really worried too much about that. But the Browns, they need to play more complete football, complementary football. They got an elite defense, but their offense is just not doing nothing. Everybody been in action. Shadur got in the game. He got in the game. He threw a pick. Definitely not the best spot for either one of these rookies to come in, especially against a solid defense like the Ravens. But the fans been asking for him, and they got him, and he didn't really do much. But like I said, this whole offensive side for the Browns outside of Quinshawn Judkins is pretty bad. Next game was Sunday Night Football, the Lions versus the Eagles. I figured the Eagles was gonna take this one. Did not think the Lions would look this bad, but the Eagles defense is major. Howie Roseman invested a lot. Going into the trade deadline, he picked up Jalen Phillips and he made a difference. And a lot of these other defensive players on their team made a huge difference. Made Goff very uncomfortable. But Goff is an indoor quarterback. He was playing in the cold a little bit. And he just wasn't getting it done. No, it was a very controversial call, which was called on Rock Ya-Sin, and it ended up essentially ended the game. A lot of people didn't agree with it. Maybe Lions had enough juice to go down the field and get one more score. We'll never know. But yeah, the Lions really didn't help out Goff too much. They only had 74 rush yards. Gibbs still had a big game through the air, but you need that run game to pop off a little bit more. Montgomery really hadn't been doing nothing. Montgomery's looking kind of washed, not gonna lie. But yeah, you need to play more complementary football with the pass game and the run game. Goff had a lot of attempts, and he definitely would have benefited from a strong running game. Last game was Monday Night Football, Cowboys versus the Raiders. I mean, like I said, if the Cowboys didn't win this game, this was going to be a problem. They end up getting the win. Not really much to say about this game. It was playing the Raiders. The Raiders just horrible. But, Pickens exploded for 9 catches, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. And surprisingly enough, the Raiders, Geno Smith was the leading rusher. He had 14 yards. And when you got a generational talent like Alshon Jeffrey, for him to have 7 yards is a problem. But all season, this offensive line been terrible. So, not a real surprise. But that was week 11. Like I said, with the picks that I gave on my previous show, my week 11 preview show, I ended up going 12-3. So definitely major. Didn't quite get into the teens. But hey, be on the lookout for my preview, my week 12 preview show. Like I said in the past couple weeks, I'm heating up. So I expect to get in the teens with this next preview show. Make sure y'all share it with a friend and tell that friend to share it with another friend if y'all want to get some great quality picks and win y'all some money on over here. So, thank you for watching my Week 11 recap show, and be on the lookout for my preview show. Stay tuned. If y'all have not already, hit the bell, hit that notification, and leave some comments below. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all telling my picks and making some money as well. But like always, thanks for watching, and peace.